Paul Kane, welcome to this one-to-one. How much of Hibs' success would you put down to the manager Neil Lennon?
I think it probably started with the winning of the Scottish Cup. And then when we got Neil Lennon, he won the First Division. And he's carried it on now. Now, what manager who's won leagues, who's won cups, who's taken a team to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, some experiences, we've never had that before.
Yeah. With that in mind, they've got to go into the Lions' Den. If Aberdeen were to win this one, is that a dead in the water? Because they do have a better goal difference.
I don't think so. I mean, say they were to win 1 or 2-0, it'd be a three better goal difference. But Aberdeen's record against the Old Firm in the last 2 or 3 seasons is poor. So I don't think so. I think if Hibs get the 3 points, I think it's all done and dusted, because they're carrying on the momentum again, of winning games. And basically they're going to Tynecastle, old arch rivals, and then they've got the last home against Rangers. And there's always that edge between Hibs and Rangers since the Scottish Cup final.
Is this one of the biggest games since the Scottish Cup final for Hibs?
Yeah, it is probably. It is probably, because if they win it, they're back on level terms with Aberdeen, and depending on the Rangers result, could go 3 points ahead of them. And then they're in pushing instead of being pulling at the teams above them.
It just shows you the remarkable turnaround in this side. He's built a good side. He's got a tenacious midfield, one of the best midfields in Scotland in my view. How difficult do you think it's going to be for him to hold on to all three and retain maybe Scott Allen from Celtic if they can? McGeoch looks as if he could be on his way, and McGinn is already suggesting he's got a year left, happy to stay, but money talks, doesn't it?
I think if there's any manager that can handle this situation, it's Neil Lennon. He's been through it with Celtic, and I'm sure his experiences in the times will put him in good stead. It's really important that the board back him. The season tickets are up. If they finish in second to fourth, it's a £500,000 difference, which is huge in anybody's budget. And I think the fans, what you hear on the street, is they're looking for the board to. Neil Lennon's taking Hibs the next step. The board have got to go with him. If they hold them back, there may be a problem.
Prediction, Pittodrie, 3 o'clock. What happens after the 90 minutes?
I think Hibs will win 2-1.
Can't get any better than that. Let me talk about you and your relationship with Hibs. Over that period, to play for your boyhood heroes must have been something special.
It was, because my dad had signed for Hibs in 1958 to 61. And when it was 3 teams, it was the first team, second team, and an East of Scotland team. And you're talking about Joe Bakers and all these type of players playing then. And he had 2 broken legs. So when you look at that, I fulfilled probably his dream that he couldn't for medical reasons in the days. And it was special. I mean, your debut's always special for the team that you support.
What was it like running out?
You know, so I made my debut, not full debut, against Swansea City on a Friday night, because the Wales were up for the rugby, so they thought they'd attract some people from the rugby. And the guy I was playing against was Roy Kennedy. Small kid, 17, against this player who, when you read on years later, was some player.
Oh, he was magnificent.
And I went to take the first touch, and he kind of pressed me early, and under the foot and out the pitch. So that's why I remember it.
Thankfully for you, there were a number of other good touches that you made. What was your favourite team that you played in for Hibs?
It was probably, we had a ground staff, Mickey Weir, Gordon Hunter, John Collins, Marcel, Callum Mullen. And what we used to do is we used to have our jobs. And if somebody wanted away early on a Friday or had to go somewhere, we would all nip in, the 5 of us, and then he would go off. Next again, maybe a week or the next 2 weeks, somebody else would get. And that bond never left from when we were the kids on the ground staff, and it went into the team. And I would say that playing with these, like the 5 guys, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And we still retain a bond now. we still go to the games and we still meet up and things like that, whether it's golf or going to the football, we still meet up now.
So you're a slightly older boy band.
Definitely older boy band.
Let me talk about the games that you've been involved in. Was there one in particular that will always live in your memory as your favourite?
There's probably two. I mean, the first one would be when we were at Hibs and we played Videoton and we beat them 3-0 over there. And there was an older guy who had followed Hibs for many, many years, and he got an invite through the club to come. And I'll never forget his face, because he was in a situation that I'd never been in for. We got back in the bus after the game, and he just started crying. And then suddenly he thought, the power of football really means something. And I'll never forget it. It was just, the game had finished, but this guy was still after it. He had welled up because he was so happy money couldn't buy that situation again.
Yeah.
And the other one was obviously a similar situation, was scoring 1-0 Dundee when St Johnstone qualified for the first time in Europe for many, many a year. When I scored the goal, I kind of ran towards the dugout, and I'll never forget Dr. McCracken. His face was an absolute picture. And then after that, the groundsman, Jimmy Hogg, people that had been there for years and were waiting on something like this to happen, and for me to give them it was brilliant. Aggie, the tea lady.
Yeah.
Like tears upon tears.
Yeah.
And it's great when these moments come in football, that people, sometimes it doesn't come, but for this time it did.
Any regrets?
I think probably I left St Johnstone to go to Clyde, and I left to go. Alan Kernan was the manager, and I went with him and signed for you. I think if I had stayed there, I might have got maybe a coaching job or something like that. That's maybe, but hindsight's easy for it. That would be, I wouldn't say it was a major regret,
Yeah.
but that would be something.
Yeah. And when you look back, and you mentioned the fact that you've had a long association as a fan and playing for Hibs, who was your hero and why?
Pat Stanton was my first hero. I remember my dad, my uncles all talking about Joe Baker was their hero. And then the next breath he would say, "Oh Pat, what a player." And I just latched, because the conversation was there all the time, you latched on it. And then I seen him, and then I met him, and sometimes you're told you shouldn't meet the people that you're heroes, but you know him, Peter.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Oh.
Total gentleman, lovely guy. And then after that, when Pat sort of went to Celtic and went on his merry-go-round to be a manager, Jackie McNamara became well, I wouldn't call it pin-up. Became my hero on the Hibs side. And the exact same scenario, met the guy, and an absolute gentleman as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you picked two great characters there. As far as the Hibs fans are concerned, they look back on one particular game, one particular moment in time, which is, of course, 21st of May. I know it's special to you and your wife, but it seems to be more special for Hibs finally ending the hoodoo.
I would like to say it's probably taken my anniversary to a backseat. I think that was the time that the club totally changed. It was taken on by Neil Lennon. The fans had seen it, just euphoria. I mean, it's funny because I'd worked in my pubs on the Saturday night, and I didn't have a drink the whole weekend. And I could tell anybody who came into my pubs what they were doing that weekend. And they go, "What? Oh yeah, you were drunk. Yeah, you were merry." And but I thoroughly enjoyed it because the people were coming on the Sunday, coming down Easter Road, going to Leith Links, and the smiles on their faces. And then you think of people who are no there. Great fans like Mick McGee was a guy who used to come pre-season tours upon time. And where he got the money, I don't know. But you think of these people. I think of my dad who wasn't there, my 5 girls, and me were there. And special moment.